Hi everyone, welcome back to Carrie Kirby Creates. And if you've just joined in for the first time, you're more than welcome. And thank you for joining me. And today I'm going to be making another little Christmas card, that time of year again. And I'm going to be using this beautiful stamp set that I purchased last year. It was on Amazon just after Christmas. I always find if you go on, you'll get a few bargains. So I'm going to be using this little stamp from the set. So it's just that little car that's carrying the Christmas tree on the roof. I'm also going to be using this embossing folder, and it's a dough craft one, which just says Reindeer's pattern. I'll list everything below in the description bar that I'm using anyway. I have it a long time. I don't know if it's still available. But I'll be using a 6x6 card base, and I just cut this piece of cardstock out, just a little bit smaller than that. But what I want to do first of all is it's off of one of the edgeable dies. It's just the piece that cuts it out. I want to come along with this piece, and I want to cut just a section out of the corner of that. So I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. So there we go with that. So I'm going to use just this corner piece of it. And what I want to do with that is I want to place it in the Reindeer embossing folder. So I just want to make sure I get the pattern that I want on it. So I'm purposely kind of placing it there, so as to get this little reindeer, because the rest will be, if I place it differently, you might only get pieces of reindeers. So you'll have a few pieces, but you'll also have a full reindeer in it. So I'm going to run that through the embossing machine. Okay, and in case any of you are wondering, my die cut and embossing machine is the Crafter's Companion Gemini, which I love. It's an electronic one. I have issues with arthritis and I just find it really good. So this is what I've got now here. And that'll just pop onto the card in a while when I've finished working. I'm going to be working directly on the card base. And I'm coming in with this ink. It's called Junesix, and it's a lovely it's a baby pink. And I want to pop some of that down just on my card base. I'm going to actually open that out to make it easier for me to work on. So I'm lightly just popping that down, because you can always come back and add more, but if you end up with a big blob, you can't take it away, unfortunately. So we just take a few minutes and get that blend the way I want it. And as I've got the centre how I want it, I'm just very lightly coming out to the edges and barely leaning on the page, just to make that, get that faded edge going. Really lightly blending it. So there we go. Next I'm going to come in with my stamping platform. And I'm just going to fold that back over, popping it into the corner there. And let's see, we'll go up there, I think. So I just want to come in with my little stamp and see where I want to put it. So I think that's going to go about there. So let's pick it up. And for the ink, I'm either going to use the Shady Lane by the Versifying Claire or the Rainforest. I think I'll go with the darker one. So that's that lovely dark green. And I want to just ink that up. I'm just going to pop down those blinds because there's a nice bit of sun coming out, but it interferes with my work area. So just give me a moment. There we go. Just remove the glass mat because I'm finished with the ink and the inking, I should say. And it always leaves this glare from my light. But anyway, let's just... Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Just want to come in and give that stamp a wipe down just to keep it clean. And next I'm going to come back with that piece of paper, which I'm going to put up here. So just going to pop a bit of sticky tape on the back of that there. Now I'm not going to use glue, and I'll tell you why. It's okay if you're layering, but if you're putting the piece of cardstock directly down onto your card base, and I go in and I put glue all over this and I pop it down, I find that the back of the card ends up being, I don't know, distorted. I never like the look of it. So for something like this, I'll always come in either with a bit of double-sided tape, or I don't know, I just find these, you know, they're very handy. But they're fast and quick. You've no peel off or anything like that. So I'm noticing here I've actually mustn't have been dried properly. I've got a little bit of, can you see the ink has moved? So I'm going to see if I can remove that. So I'm just coming in with this rubber and I'm going to see, hopefully I don't make it worse. No, and I think that's coming off. So, note to myself, be a bit more patient and make sure things are dry. Now, I want to add a little sentiment to this card, and I have these ones. And this one says deck the halls, which I think is appropriate for that. So I'm going to remove that, and I'm coming back in with the stamping platform. And again, just popping that into the corner. So let's see, where do I want to put it? Yeah, maybe there. Yeah. So just want to make sure that's straight. So I'm coming in. Let's see with this. I think it was okay the way that it was anyway. But yeah, that's all right. So let's just pick it up, and staying with the same colour, I'm going to come back in with that Rainforest in the VersaFine Clear. Just ink that up. And yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. So let's just give that a moment now to dry. Okay, so I think that that's good and dry. So next I'm coming in with these little embellishments by Sizzix. And let's see. And I'm just coming down, let's see. I want these little ones. They're just little, well, they're pink hearts. But I want a couple of the small ones from there. So let's just come and pop those down there. And what I want to do there is, if you can see on this, there's little stars. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue onto those. Just each one there. And just come in with this and pick up the little hearts. Just add a bit of pink really up here to where it's just all white. You know, just just carry the colour through. Which I think looks pretty. So let's see. One here. Oops. And I actually like the way this one has fallen down here, and it looks nice. I think I might just come and add another little couple around here as well. Just like fallen hearts. So how easy was that little card to make? Doesn't it look lovely? It's just one little, stamps, two little stamps, I guess. You could make it even without the embossing folder, but I think it just adds a little bit of interest to it. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great weekend.